Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Laramie. Today I am inviting you to join my little journey of painting all the miniatures of all the adventures that our little D&D group experienced, while at the same time telling you our little story. This episode I will be painting a group of orcs that was made by Artisan Guild. A link to them will be in the description below. Okay, so today I'm going to draw some orcs, and I will start with a base coat of orc skin of literally every single one of them. So let's get going. The journey begins somewhere in the Neverwinter forest, inside an orc encampment. Two cages are located within the encampment, one of them containing a young boy, a middle-aged, heavily armored man, a tiefling that is almost completely covered in bandages, and some kind of deer centaur. The four wake up to the yelling of the newest prisoner, a tiny raccoon wearing a hood that is somehow capable of speaking common language, being thrown into the other cage by two orcs. Meanwhile, the only other inmate over there is an incredibly chunky bunny. Okay, and now I will continue with probably the armor, which is gonna be a combination of because I wanted to give them a slightly reddish tone, but still leathery armor for the most part. I think some of them have plates. Yeah, some of it is plate, so when it's plate it's gonna be iron color. But yeah, for the leathery parts I'm going to mix these two, slaughter red and hardened leather, to get a slightly reddish leather. Probably gonna mix them 3-to-1, mostly leather. One of the orcs remarks, "Oh boy, this is gonna be a feast tonight." The other one responds, "Like you would deserve anything of it. You even managed to let this bunny escape like 3 times. It's a bunny though. They can be quite quick, you know." The first orc replies, "Kevin, this one wasn't even moving." Yeah. Let's continue with the hair. For most, but not all, I'll go with black hair. As the orcs argue, the brain of the duo leaves for what appears to be the main tent, leaving Kevin to keep an eye on the prisoners. Kevin notices all the bandages on the tiefling and expresses his curiosity. The tiefling asks if he wants to see what's underneath, and Kevin excitedly agrees. "Well, you have to let me out of here to show you," says the tiefling. "You think I'm stupid? Just show me already," replies Kevin. The tiefling then says, "Okay, but I will need a saw to get these bandages open." Got it, responds Kevin as he goes off to look for a saw. So, for the last one, I actually wanna go ahead and turn him into that one named orc that we met, called Kevin. And to basically make him worthy of his name, kind of let him stand out of the crowd, and give him a color scheme that is not usual for orcs, I would say. So I give him this hair color. With the orcs gone, the raccoon immediately tries to pick the lock of the cage open, asking the bunny, "Hey, you wanna help me or what?" The bunny replies, "I want flowers. You got flowers?" "Oh great," mutters the raccoon. Luckily, he manages to pick the lock himself without any hassle, but on his way out, he makes sure to close the door behind him, just out of spite. The people in the other cage see how easily he handled that lock and ask him to help them out too. Okay, so for now I don't see much of a difference, but let's just hope that once this color is dry it looks a bit brighter, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna turn this into his wife. And they share the same hairstyle. This is gonna be Kevina. A character that technically doesn't exist in, or at least not that we know of. As he is picking the other lock, a notable noise is coming from the main tent, as if the orc is about to return. To prevent him from seeing anything, the deer centaur casts quite a thick fog into the camp. Managing to open the cage, the four flee to the outskirts of the encampment. On his way out, the tiefling also frees the bunny, who is still sitting in his cage, hoping for some flowers. So, now that we have that, I think the next best step would be yes. This one is actually not an army painter color, but a citadel. I'm using their Elite Belcher, aka steel, iron, whatever you could call it. It's their metal, I forgot to shake it. Not long after, they realize that all their weapons are gone. Since the raccoon is an excellent sneaking expert, he decides to go back in and search for the weapons while the others try to hide behind the fog. At this point it is already clear that the orcs are searching through the camp. Besides some other little treasures, the raccoon eventually finds the weapons, which he somehow manages to carry without any problems. Side note, one of those weapons is a massive two-hander that is almost the size of a fully grown adult human. As the raccoon reunites with the rest of the group and gives everyone their weapons, two orcs emerge from the fog and start attacking the group. Yeah, let's just go with the straight up next detail color, I would call it at this point, because most of the bases are covered, so, well, bases. Bases in general are not yet covered at all. But I will begin now, because now I will color in all the bones that are somewhere on these orcs. They have surprisingly a lot. With just a minor flesh wound on the tiefling's shoulder, they manage to defeat the two orcs, but can already hear more coming from inside the fog and decide to run from the scene. After a while, they reach the edge of the forest and are certain that they have successfully outrun the reinforcements. Finally, having a period of peace and calm, they introduce themselves to each other. Okay. Let's now go for another big part of every single one of them, the base. Since they're pretty much all standing on some sort of stone, slate, cobblestone stuff. Except for this guy. He appears to be standing in a forest, in what used to be a forest. Somehow. So is maybe I will consider it ash, and he's still standing on what I'm going to do with all of them, which is gray. Because I just think it's a nice color. Makes for a good ground. The human is Laurel, a warrior from the northern town of Luskan. The tiefling is Sarat, a druid from a monastery of monks. The deer centaur is called Odir, a bard from a somewhat faraway land. The raccoon is Flynn, a rogue from Neverwinter. The young boy is called Ander and belongs to a little store in the village of Vandalin. Okay, so for the second to last color, I wanna go ahead and give Kevin's banner a little bit more color on the grip, meaning dark wood, as in it's gonna be a wooden grip basically. This is what the staff looks like now. And oh no, never mind, this was not the only piece of wood. Haha. Alright, so there's that. Once this is dry, it will look like wood. And now all that's left is fur. What color am I gonna give the fur? Could give it a wash with a mid-brown tone. I think I will try that on one. Let's see how it's going to look. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Not 100% convinced yet. I mean, it doesn't look bad, I would say. But it's a wash, so it's probably gonna look a lot different once it's dry. So I'm gonna leave it dry now. And we'll probably see tomorrow what it looks like, because it's getting a bit late here. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this to drying overnight. Usually 10-20 minutes are enough, but I know in 10-20 minutes I will be long gone. So yeah, you will see how it looks like in, well, you will see it in literally 5 seconds, but yeah.
The next day.
Okay, so it is the next day, and this guy is now dried up, and I would say it looks okay, the fur colors. So I'm gonna do this for all of them. Alright, since it's barely visible before it's dry, I'm not gonna show it off that much. But okay, so now that all of this is done, I will go ahead and color in the teeny tiny teeth that they have with some base color that I will look up real quick. Let's give them shiny white teeth with some ORCS white. The group decided to travel together for now and bring the boy back home, but make a little camp for the night. The group takes turns during the night to watch out for any potential danger, and during Flint's shift he noticed a little rattling from the bushes. When investigating, he learned that the bunny was following them all the way. Some greenwash. Because the faces need a bit more depth, you could say. Depth. Alright, it is now completely covered in green wash, and let's just quickly wait a few minutes to see if this looks decent once it's dry. If it does, I will apply it to every other character. See you soon. So yeah, after some drying, I would say looks good. It's not fully dry yet, as you can see, somewhere there. But you could tell how it would look like at the end, so let's do it with all of them. And I think then I'm basically done. The thing is, I will probably never really color in the eyes with more than a wash, because I just don't have the, what's that called? We call it Fingerspitzengefühl here. To color in these tiny little holes without completely ruining the entire figurine. So, yeah.
Hey, could you help me get back to the people that feed me?
The bunny asked. Do you have any idea where that could be? Flynn inquired.
No.
The bunny replied. Fine, you can tag along. What should we call you? Flynn asked.
I have no name. But the people that give me food always call me Flöckchen.
The bunny answered. Very well then, Flynn said. As he returned to his watch for the night, Flöckchen decided to take a rest on his lap. The next morning, the group started the journey towards Vandalin. Okay, so that's basically every single orc done. There's just one little thing on this one. Some might have noticed already that I always kind of dodged the topic, but he's carrying a banner and currently it's a little bit empty. I have no idea what to put on there, so I don't know, maybe you have some decent idea in the comments, let me know. And maybe I will add this in the next video, or the one after that, depending on how long it takes. So yeah, but I'll let them now dry, then I will do a final close-up shot of every single one, and well, that's gonna be it for me for today then, I guess. Yeah. I think they will look amazing once they are dry. Okay, so just real quick, I decided, because I feel like it's a bit too shiny, the armor of these orcs, so I decided to go ahead and try out to cover it a little bit with red. So like basically it should result in still being this shiny metally look, but reddish basically. And this is what I'm going to try now. I feel like this looks quite amazing, honestly. I'm gonna get a second opinion.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so the second opinions are in, and most preferred the old way of the silvery one, so I'm gonna leave it with the silver. I'm not gonna mention the reasoning why they said they preferred the silver, but they had the same reasons. Which I didn't see at first. But yeah. So, they are done. Nice. So, this video was surprisingly amount of effort, way more than I expected. I really hope you enjoy it. If you do, amazing. If you don't, it would be even more amazing if you could tell me in the comments what I could do better next time. And as a little bonus, here are some, you could say, blooper scenes that didn't quite make it into the main cut, but in my opinion, worth including. See you next time. Adios. Don't know why, but it feels like the color isn't sticking to her butt for some reason. It looks like it survived everything, yes. Nothing broke away, thank God. Hate when that happens. Come on, there we go. I admit, I barely see a difference between these two colors, but I'm slightly colorblind, so whatever. I'm sure there is a difference. Alright, lesson learned. The camera turns off after 1.5 hours due to overheating. Alright, let's continue. Battery exhausted. What? Alright. Brush looks... Come on, face detection. There we go. Alright. Well, the brush looks better now.